Z103, Idaho's #1 hit music channel. Maddie Merrill here with you. Coming up tomorrow, we're going to be at Firth High School as the Make-A-Wish Foundation and Bodybuilding.com's Lift Life Foundation fulfill Firth senior Jared Anderson's wish. There's going to be an assembly and a ribbon cutting for Jared's wish, which is a new weight room for all to use at Firth High School. As it's kind of a community weight room. It's going to be a huge deal. It's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow at noon at Firth High School. We'll see you there. The 4 o'clock you pick coming up next for you. Right now, let's get to your dirt.
It's everything to me. I spend most of my time in here. First thing I've ever done was a bench. Well, my brother Nick, he got me in lifting in 7th grade. I've been lifting ever since. Nothing much to do around here.
This is an excerpt from Jared's senior research paper. He says, "Having good fitness and diet will benefit your life. I know this because of my experience with cancer. After chemotherapy, the muscles in my legs and arms were weakened. Other side effects were nausea, pain, and fatigue. Lifting weights isn't recommended for cancer patients, but I decided to give it a try. The results of lifting almost every day made my life better. I felt better. I kept my strength and stamina up. The pain in my muscles wasn't there anymore. I slept better, and my outlook of my situation was brighter and more hopeful. My life is definitely better because of my involvement in a physical activity."
We're seeing a huge increase of state funding being cut from schools. What happens is schools are forced to cut extracurricular activities, athletics, music programs, physical education. A lot of times schools will get grants to update their facilities, but a majority of the times the weight rooms are completely untouched. So the rest of the school will get a nice new polish and shine, and then you'll still have your same old rundown weight room. And a majority of them haven't been touched since the school was built.
Firth High School is set in the city of Firth itself. The school itself has 230 students this year. We currently have 45 state academic titles, which we're really proud of. The high school setting is the community center. It's a very small, rural community. We have a lot of community activities that take place here. We like to think that we're kind of one big family.
We have a lot of potato farms, wheat farms, dairy farms in our area.
Probably almost 90% of our kids are involved in extracurricular activities. In sports, it'd be way above 3/4 of the student population. It's a big part of our community and probably our lives of our kids.
One of the issues we face here is that there are not a lot of businesses. That makes it difficult as far as bringing funds in from the state. And so when the recession hit, it hit us fairly hard. Weight rooms are expensive.
When I heard that Jared wanted to use his wish to give back to the school and to improve that weight room, I was pleasantly surprised.
I first thought it was a football injury because I got hit in the hand. I kind of got out of the game for a little bit. But then a few months later, I was lifting. There's a bump on my hand. I thought it was just a cyst or something like that in my hand, so I completely ignored it for a few months, and it kept getting bigger, so we decided to go get it checked out.
Well, of course, in the waiting room, it's kind of scary waiting for them to come out, and the doctor came out, and I said, "Is it bad?" And he said, "Yeah, it's bad." So
They cut me open, put the port in that day, and said I had cancer, and I couldn't believe it. I just didn't know what to do. I just thought maybe I'm gonna die, who knows?
You know, he kind of moped around for a few days when he found out. His friends all came, the whole baseball team came, sat in his bedroom with him, and that was kind of emotional.
It's very unusual for teenagers to get cancer. The likelihood of that happening is on the order of 1 in a million.
It was like stage 3 cancer is what they figured out, and I had it in some lymph nodes, it spread to lymph nodes, and if it spreads more, it could get to the lungs. So it could have been pretty bad. Pretty much told me, you are going to have to go through a lot of stuff. I had chemo that week, and it was horrible. I was just tired all the time, and I could feel myself getting weaker. I was always cold all the time. I had the bad taste in my mouth, and I was just run down all the time.
We really didn't talk about it much. I mean, relatives knew. I mean, of course, the football and baseball coaches knew what he was going through.
I think every teacher that had him in a class just did everything they could to make sure that he was successful while he was battling this.
I've never seen once where Jared's used his cancer to be a reason why he can't do his schoolwork or he can't try. Even on days when he's gone or he's come back after a treatment, he still is there and he's still trying, even though you can tell physically it's hard for him.
His wish at that moment, which broke me up a little bit, he just wanted to be able to play football. He wanted to get healthy enough to be able to play football.
I was worried. A kid going through the chemo and everything like that weakens your system, weakens your muscles, but that kid worked hard. He proved to us that what he wanted to do was what he was going to do, and he went out and did it.
He's the first guy that I can think of that actually was able to compete at a highly competitive level despite the fact that he was getting one of the most intensive chemotherapy regimens that we can give a person. Most of our patients have a portacath placed. It's a surgically implanted intravenous catheter, so an IV that's actually underneath the skin. For a guy who's interested in playing competitive football, it also gave rise to some interesting sorts of scenarios where maybe his shoulder pads would be getting in the way. We kind of made a deal and we took it out. And every time he came in the hospital that Friday night, we had a special nurse come in who put in a very long IV just in his arm, just for the duration of the hospitalization. And so that was something that he chose to go through every time so they wouldn't have the port there during the course of the football season. His dedication to maintaining optimal physical condition absolutely helped him through this. He's recovered and maintained blood counts and physical strength and mental agility far better than most of my patients. I've got lots of patients who have used him as sort of their personal trainer through chemotherapy. I've asked him what his secrets to success are. So he's inspiring on many levels.
Before treatment, I was just lifting for football and sports, but during treatment, I just lifted to live, pretty much. It's more than a hobby. I do it every day, and if I could do it more in a greater environment, that'd be amazing.
Our weight room, where it sits right now, used to be the typing room.
They were actual typewriters, electric typewriters. And behind there was a computer room, which we only had one computer back in those days.
We have had a lot of cuts. I've had to cut back on a lot of things that we do for the athletics. Any equipment that has to be purchased is fundraised.
And I think some of it is was made actually in the ag shop. There's a dip center over there that I think was actually made in the ag shop back in the 80s. This rack was made in the ag shop, probably in the 80s also. So, yeah, kind of made do.
I've been wanting to fix this place up since I've started lifting.
What would you change about it?
Everything. Everything.
To fix that weight room up the way we would like to, it's more than we would be able to do at one time.
Jared's family actually contacted me and they wanted to refer him. So once a child is referred to us, then we have to send the supporting documentation to his attending physician. So once the doctor has signed off that he fits that criteria, we're able to step in and start the wish process. We give them 4 categories: to go somewhere, to have something, to be someone, or to meet someone. And he chose to have the gym renovated. So for him to choose something that was in a realm that would help everyone else, that would benefit everyone, is awesome.
It brought a tear to my eye, to be honest. I didn't know that could be done, for one thing. I didn't know that they could choose to pay it forward.
It's not surprising, but it's rare in this day and age for somebody to be as unselfish, especially at his age.
We contacted someone on our board of directors, and he put us in touch with the right people at the right time.
The Lift Life Foundation is a nonprofit organization that we launched under the brand Bodybuilding.com. The mission is to identify underfunded schools across the U.S. that have these old, dilapidated, and unsafe weight rooms and completely transform them.
Coming from a school that didn't have great gym equipment, I know the difference that it can make. The work you put in your body goes a long way as you develop into an adult.
6:45 here in Boise, Idaho at our headquarters. We're about to hit the road, 4-hour trip to Firth, Idaho. The purpose of today's trip is that we have to figure out exactly what we're going to do and really how we're going to modify this space for Jared in the high school. Going to Firth felt like an adventure. We didn't know what awaited us. You know, it was very desolate, no stoplights. And I'm from a small town, and it even looked small to me.
It's just after 11 a.m. and we've arrived in Firth, Idaho here at Firth High School, town population 477. We're really excited here with the Lift Life Foundation crew. We have our program manager, Kirk Calzacorda, our facilities managers, Jim and Dylan, and we also have some people here with us from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, as well as our equipment partner, Arsenal Strength. Bino and Andrew came all the way from Knoxville, Tennessee. We're about to walk inside and see the gym for the first time.
When we walked into the weight room for the first time, I think we were all blown away. Pictures didn't quite do it justice, and when you walked in and saw the gravity of the state that weight room was in, was kind of overwhelming.
We knew it was going to be a lot of work, throughout the whole process to bring this gym back to life. We didn't know exactly how much work until we kind of got into it and tore into the actual, structure of it. But overall, the biggest things were the ceiling and the lighting. I mean, they had some very old and outdated lighting that was half working, half not.
Rusted equipment, torn padding, speakers were hanging out of the ceilings. They didn't work.
When was the last time you think you had an equipment update? You got new equipment?
Not since I've been here, and I've been here 9 years. Wow. Okay. Everything's pretty old, as you can see.
So the equipment in this gym is definitely outdated. Needs some love, needs some work. From dumbbells to the plates to padding, we need to do an upgrade here. Looking at a picture, you have a preset in mind, like here's what needs to happen, but then you actually walk in the room and you're like, well, this is not going to work out so hot, or this one actually doesn't work. It works exactly like we thought.
Yeah, having a design and a plan in place is one thing, but getting in and actually doing the work is a whole other beast. And luckily, we have Dylan Cooper and Jim Hall, our in-house facilities guys, who are pros.
So today we walked into the Firth gym. We noticed that the electrical outlets are actually hanging off the walls and broken. There are speakers hanging from the ceiling. Half of the lights in the gym don't work.
We're going to have to do a bunch of drywall work and take out some walls. We're going to redo some flooring. And then again, we're going to replace pretty much all the equipment.
A really outdated space, but a real cool space.
This is very doable.
Excellent. You could add those. Sit in the back. Hello. You're doing, Kirk.
Keith. Jared is he's a very quiet kid. Overall, I mean, he was just happy to have us there. He couldn't believe that, this actually got picked up, and it was going to be more than just painting the walls and adding some jump ropes. We've got to make trips out here. We've got to get other people out here, so it'll be a process. But overall, we'll get it done before you graduate. That's for sure.
Yep.
As long as it gets done. Nice.
So for this project, we had to do a complete overhaul. There wasn't 1 inch of that weight room that wasn't redone. Initially, we had to pull out all of the equipment. Then we pulled out the flooring. We had to take all the existing wall treatments off. They had old, almost rotted out drywall that had to be replaced.
This was part of Jared's senior project, and so his mom really wanted him to be involved in the process in some way, kind of get his hands dirty and help us out. First order of business, this giant pile of ceiling tile, and taking this stuff out of here. Let's just clean it up, and then once we get to a point where we're ready to start drywall, we'll get you set up there as well.
All right,
cool. So what we did is we had him help us out for the first couple days when we were doing some drywall and some painting and kind of the demo portion of it. Him and his baseball team took all the old gym equipment out of there.
Anything that was left over, we actually had a massive metal recycling dumpster delivered to the school, and Jared and the baseball team actually loaded that stuff up.
How long did it take you guys to get all the equipment out of here?
A while.
Was it your whole baseball team came in? Is that right? Or was it
like the lifting classes?
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they came in.
Oh, okay. So you guys have been without a gym for a week or so. A couple weeks, we'll get you guys back up and running. And
looking forward to it.
All right, cool.
It's cool. I never expected this to happen. It's pretty awesome.
But in a way, is it kind of sad?
Yeah, I'm sad to see all the stuff go. This is where I grew up lifting. Lifted all my life in this weight room.
And once we kind of got the word out about what we were doing and what we were trying to accomplish, we had so many people jump on board and be willing to, help donate to this cause.
I'm the project manager for Mountain West Electric. We're an electrical contractor out of Blackfoot, Idaho. It's great that Jared was doing this for the school. My daughter's shot putter and track, and she uses the weight room a lot, so it benefits my kids personally a lot too. So we want to help out everywhere we can.
We feel like we're in a really good place right now. We're going to be able to tackle this project, really get moving and kind of start this thing and hopefully get to the point at the end of the week that we want to be. That way when we come back, we're ready for equipment, flooring, and really just kind of the touch-up stuff when we get back. When everything started coming together that second week, all the vinyl starts showing up and it really starts to take shape. In my head, I have this visualization of what it's going to look like, but when it really starts to come together, you're like, this is exactly what I had in mind.
When the Arsenal Strength equipment was delivered and then the work began.
Of course, we run into hiccups. We've got, trucks that roll in with 8-foot pallets loaded into them. We've got a forklift there that only has 4-foot forks on it, and so we actually had to unload a bunch of the equipment by hand because we didn't have the right stuff there. But overall, we had more people down there to help us, and there was just a buzz and an excitement around the team and the school.
Z103, we're going to be at Firth High School as the Make-A-Wish Foundation and Bodybuilding.com's Lift Life Foundation fulfill Firth senior Jared Anderson's wish. There's going to be an assembly and a ribbon cutting for Jared's wish, which is a new weight room for all to use at Firth High School. As it's kind of a community weight room. It's going to be a huge deal.
Hello, Firth, Idaho. How's everybody doing? Can I get a Firth Cougar roar? Do you guys do that? No? Thank you very much for having us here today. So Lift Life Foundation is a nonprofit organization that is powered by Bodybuilding.com. Our mission is to help deserving young adults have access to the tools they need to improve their fitness level, boost their self-worth, and become their best selves in life. It's an absolute honor to have our very first project right here in Idaho. An even greater honor to partner with such an amazing foundation like Make-A-Wish to help fulfill Jared's selfless wish.
It is said that children supply the imagination and that Make-A-Wish provides the magic. But we know that the real magic is in the tangible support of caring people in our community. It is because of the thoughtfulness and the dedication of so many like you that we are able to bring smiles and relief to these children and their families. The very, very best part of all of this is Jared is in remission. His most recent scans and MRI are all clear.
The school is going to benefit from this wish for many, many years to come. And so with that, we would like Jared to do the honors and cut the ribbon. So Jared, whenever you're ready. So Jared, we have one final task for you to do to complete your senior project. We're going to need you to hang this sign. The Jared Anderson Weight Room.
I didn't expect this. This is over the top. It's crazy. I mean, you never expect this kind of stuff to happen to you. And when it does, you just don't know what to think. Just made it look bigger. Everything's so flashy now. That's cool. That's cool.
Amazing.
I thought it was bigger. I thought the ceiling was higher, and they told me it was lower. It's like, it doesn't even look like the same space. The space is so much bigger.
It looks a little different.
Yeah, it does. It's amazing. I've never lifted in something this nice before, so I got to get used to it.
To see the look on his face when he came in, awesome. I can tell. He just looked at me and grinned, and I can tell. It's inside. He is so happy. I can't put it in words. It exceeds anything that I even imagined. Even seeing pictures, it's not what I thought. It's not what I thought. It's way bigger, way better, way everything.
I mean, it was just awesome. It's been done really well, and you can tell the quality of the work and the quality of the equipment is just outstanding.
You know, without a project like this, something that would never happen at our school. I would dare say there's nothing else like it in Southeast Idaho.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. It's crazy. The floor.
The floor is amazing.
I'm so happy about this.
We got bumper plates too.
Literally the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, they said this equipment's not in like any other schools.
Dude,
I think it turned out probably better than anticipated. We knew that it was going to turn out well, but I think just Jim and Dylan outdid themselves, man, with the walls, the paint.
It's surreal, the feeling for us to be able to create something like this and have the ability to just really move forward and create a space that will just change lives.
Feels incredible. I mean, it's so surreal to think about the beginning to end of the whole process. I mean, starting 4 months ago with just an idea of not even just this project, but the foundation as a whole.
I think Jared said it when he said, I thought it was just going to be a paint job and a little bit here and there, a couple weight sets. This is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. As you can tell, I mean, we've had a lot of students come in. They're excited. They want to know when they can start working.
So we're super excited for what's next with the Lift Life Foundation. When we first envisioned this process that we were going to do, make over these weight rooms, you know, obviously the superficial level is that you have this amazing facility to work out in. Under the surface, there's so much more than just like new equipment. You know, it's the lives that are impacted from it as a result.
I hope people take away, you know, just kind of how strong this kid is and what it meant for him to give something back to his school.
There's power in being selfless. You know, Jared could have done some amazing, extravagant event for himself, but I truly believe that he got more value and more fulfillment from this wish, knowing that he's leaving a legacy for, you know, the student body and also the community as a whole. I mean, that's huge.
I'm so proud of him. He's a strong kid. He has put so much into the weight room and getting healthy, and it's meant a lot to him.
What's your favorite part? That has my name on it, probably. That's pretty cool. It's just cool to know that I was a part of this. It's kind of like a legacy. Like, that's what I think of it as. Something to be remembered by. Just this thing, it's pretty cool.
Your senior project is complete.